I'll count
Yep.
it down. 3, 2, 1, click. Okay. So I think we backed up a little bit, and we're gonna catch up. If you're going to a tropical country, definitely bring swimming trunks. We kind of talked about that. Board shorts. This is a quick dry hat. So I'm a hat guy. I have way too many hats. But that quick dry hat is really nice for if you're wearing it to the beach or in the rain, just like all the other quick dry stuff, even hats, it's good.
Is that a fidget spinner?
It is a fidget spinner, so I brought a lot of electronics because I'm a big tech guy. I've never used the Xbox controller. I did not bring that fan. I barely use the Kindle,
I
even though I should. Jump in
I
there, go
also
ahead.
brought an Xbox controller, but I also have not used it. But that's because I use my PlayStation controller more.
You brought both an Xbox and a PlayStation controller?
I did just in case.
Um, yeah, I could not fit that remote control fan, or I mean that cordless fan. But again, we're in the Philippines. They know it's hot. They sell zillions of fans for way cheaper than you can buy one in the United States. So just buy that stuff
Literally.
when you get to country. I use.
Yeah.
I'm a big gamer, as Alex knows. I like to edit videos, as everybody that subscribes to this channel knows. So the laptop cooler, the headset, the gaming mouse, I use all those things almost on a daily basis. So
Same.
if you know like what your hobby is, the thing that you love is, then bring all the shit to be able to do it because you probably are going to use it every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Love that
You'd be using the
camera.
hell out of that Fujifilm camera.
Dude, that camera is like it's inevitable, guys, that you're going to make friends when you get to Peace Corps, and you're going to have a lot of get-togethers. Depending on where you are, may have some drinks together. That camera is one of the best, like party cameras, get-together cameras that you can have. So that thing, this model specifically, the Instax Mini Evo, you can you take pictures obviously and you can print them, but it also saves them on the camera and you can send them to your phone. So it's both like a digital camera and a physical film camera. It's really freaking cool.
That
Um,
camera is honestly the star of the show sometimes.
I know literally because you can just give it to people and let them take pictures. It's so fun. Don't know why I brought that. I mean, it doesn't weigh
What
anything, so who cares? But like, why?
what is it?
It's supposed to extend your cell signal. So you're looking at one, two, three, four, five power banks, and the one that is a phone case broke. The technically it still works, but it doesn't go on my phone anymore. And then the other ones, the small ones, they're not even worth charging. I only use the one new good one that I brought. So if you've got a bunch of old power banks laying around, buy yourself one brand new good one and bring that. And then you're probably just going to charge it nightly or the night before you need it, and then you're going to use it. I'll jump in on this real quick too. So I saw a recommendation to bring a cheaper MP3 player instead of like using your phone so you don't have your phone out in front of people. So I brought both my old iPod Shuffle and that blue one. Totally unnecessary and a huge waste of money. Just use your
Yeah,
phone. People, we're living in the 21st century. Just use your phone. People don't care.
everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
So,
That thing is a universal uh, power adapter. I've not used it, but I still think it was a cool thing to bring because if you ever
I think
lose your power cord for something, then that has every adapter that you could need.
that is definitely, I think that's probably a good purchase. Especially because depending on the country that you're going to, like we're fortunate that we don't really need and a whole lot of adapters to plug our stuff in.
Yeah.
Um, but that's because the Philippines uses a similar outlet type or outlet types that are easy to adapt to. But other countries, depending on where you're going, might use completely different. So
Yeah.
definitely having universal adapters or like any of that kind of stuff, cord
So
adapters and stuff is
the big white
fine.
one that you can see on the screen is a universal adapter. that has like 5 different um, types on it. So that was definitely a good purchase.
Yeah.
Um, I lost that laundry bag, and I also lost that towel. Microfiber towels are a good idea. That blue towel is still my favorite towel. I use it almost exclusively. It's a Norwex microfiber quick dry towel. So quick dry towels are a really good idea, especially in a very damp, humid place like the Philippines. But if you bring ones that are packable, don't lose them because they're easy to lose and leave somewhere. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Yep.
Brought my GoPro. You know, this is a water filter. One thing that when I was making notes for this video before, I wrote this down like 50 times. You're not going camping. And, you know, I'm saying this to myself. Like, you're not going camping. Don't bring camping gear. This is a fully functioning country. You're going to be living in a fully functional house. You're going to be able to buy clean water. You're going to have, you know, warmth, whatever. Like, I brought so much gear that's like for camping, and it was like unnecessary. Like that water filter, it was just so silly to bring that because it's unnecessary.
I so I will jump in on that and say it might be necessary. It's not necessary for you, but it might be necessary for somebody else. Obviously, we're not going camping, and our housing, Peace Corps housing rules are pretty strict.
Yes.
So we don't generally have to worry about that. But you may or may not have a use for that, especially when oh, I love those. Um, when we had during training that whole session on water and like what happens if you don't have water,
Yeah.
especially if you're in like the Visayas where despite being on an island surrounded by water scarcity is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A water filter could theoretically be a good thing, um, especially if you don't have regular access to drinking water. Here, I don't know what's going on. Like, so the week that I was on vacation, we did not have water at all at my house. So they were just using, thankfully, we have a pump in the backyard or on the side of the house. Um, and there's a water refill station somewhere relatively accessible. But like, imagine if we didn't have water and didn't have a water refill station accessible to us, we would
Yeah.
probably have to take water from the pump inside, boil it before it can be drank. So, like, a water filter is not necessarily a bad idea, but
Yeah.
obviously, yes, don't bring like 400 things of camping gear because it's not really worth it.
Yeah. I mean, especially in the future, you know, for us being the first batch back after COVID, we were all placed in larger municipalities with better access. But if
Yeah,
you are in one of the really, really isolated rural communities, some of the more quote unquote camping gear type stuff, like what I'm showing right now, even like um, this mosquito slash insect repellent and these lamps and stuff. I've not used almost any of that, but if I was in a more rural place with less access to stuff, I may be using that more. So it's like, you know, it's really hard to predict. Again, a lot of
yeah,
this stuff you could either get in country or you could get it in a care package. However, I would be careful about relying on care packages because it's extremely expensive to ship internationally.
yeah.
Um, yeah, again, like the life straw. I mean, there could
The
be a
life
time when I
straw,
use it and I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
I'm glad I had this. And it also is not taking up that much room, really. But yeah, so far it's not been necessary.
I mean, fair enough. Dysentery is not something I want to be dealing with.
That's true. I will say,
Um,
so earlier I showed my lamp. We were talking, but I showed my lamp. The
I was gonna
rechargeable.
comment on the lamp.
Yeah, so let's pause real quick because we can just jump back. So
Oh,
we're pausing at 24. I'm gonna hop back to where were we? Oh, here it is. So go to 20, maybe 2053. Try to get to 2053.
damn. All right.
me know.
All right, 2053.
All right, we'll hit play in three, two, one, play. So I brought all these cords, these extension cords. I think were good to have. Otherwise,
Oh yeah, those are definitely a good idea.
you can buy them in country, but you're not gonna know where these things are when you first get there. So I think it's good to have like extension cords, charging plugs. But yeah, this lamp, my grandmother bought me this lamp, and it is one of my favorite things that I brought. Um, you can clamp it anywhere. It's rechargeable. It's got three different settings, and it has three different types of light, like a really harsh, like blue, or a more gentle orange, and then one other one, whatever. But yeah, I love that thing. I really can't say that it's necessary because I could have bought a similar one here, but it's just one of the things that I love, and I'm glad that I brought. So.
I actually have. I got one for free when I bought my phone.
Oh yeah, here
When
in the
I
country.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't see it because the package is like blending in with the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I disappeared. But oh, there we go. It's a USB.
Nice. I can't see you, but I believe you. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
okay. Sorry, I think you cut out for a second.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Um,
the rechargeable lights slash lamps, I think are worth bringing if you have one
definitely.
or if you want to buy one.
Well, so specifically that lamp that's next to your hand, that big one, I brought one of those as well, and I think it's pretty useful because I mean, we haven't had one in a minute, but brownouts in the Philippines happen all the time.
Yep.
So that lantern, I have one very similar to that. Very useful.
Yeah,
Very,
I
very
agree.
useful. Definitely glad I brought that.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see the ton of batteries. I brought almost all of those batteries, and on one hand, I probably didn't need to
What are you
because you
eating
can buy
them?
batteries here, but also when I need batteries, I probably won't ever have to buy any because of the amount that I brought.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's that may be something that you consider with weight because bringing batteries is not necessary. I would imagine almost every country has access to batteries somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you can afford the weight, then if you bring the batteries, you're probably not going to have to buy batteries in country.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah, I mean, the lantern, I would only bring one lantern. I didn't need both of those. The little blue one
Yeah.
was unnecessary. The black one is a really good quality one, and it's really bright. I have used it during a brownout, like you're saying, so that's a good idea. Um, poncho,
Especially if it's a brownout at
umbrella.
night.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, especially if it's a brownout at night,
Yeah,
because you don't really want to be using your flashlight, like your phone flashlight, because that'll drain your battery very quickly.
yep. It's another good point on good reason to have your what am I think? Power bank always charged up as
Yeah.
much as you can.
I
The
should actually charge mine up. It's not charged right now.
So, going back a few steps, but we'll just leave the video going. Actually, I'll comment on this while I'm talking. Don't bring all this shit like I did. You don't need to bring a bunch of stationary stuff. The note cards, maybe, because I ended up using them. But the rest of the stuff, like bring your personal journal, and that's it. That blender I got a good deal on. I've not used it one time. Um, the black vacuum sealed thing there, not that, but the other one I have used, but it's really not necessary. That coffee cup is a really good quality coffee cup that I do use often, and the Hydro Flask bottle, I do use it very often. A lot of this other
Not the
stuff,
Jägermeister.
not the Jägermeister flask that I don't use because
Not
I'm
the
not an
flask.
alcoholic, but yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is just like, again, me overthinking. Like all the kitchen stuff, you can just buy it here. So buy it when it's necessary. Buy it when you need it. Um,
Yeah.
Thinking about the poncho and the umbrella, I mean, it's a rainy country, so it made sense to bring those. But I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get the same quality here, but I mean, I can. So it's like if you're going to a place where it rains all the time, they probably are able to accommodate it raining all the time. So if you want to bring
Yeah.
the stuff, you can, but also like they have ponchos and a million ponchos and a million umbrellas here. Just like if you're going to a place that's really cold, they're going to have a million accommodations for being cold. So just keep that in mind and try to be realistic.